In web design, small details can make a large difference in the overall user experience and perception of a website. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can add an icon inside the Add to Cart button in Shopify. Here I am on my product page. I have a simple call to action that says Add to Cart, and I want to make it more compelling by adding an icon right before the text. A customization of this nature requires changing the source code. So I'm going to start by inspecting the element and its attributes. I can see that this button element has an ID of product submit button. I'm going to double click and just copy this part. Now I know what to search for. Let's go to the code editor. If you're using one of Shopify's free themes, then you should have a buy buttons file. I'm going to click inside the file, use the Control F keyboard shortcut, and paste the ID that I copied. And that's going to bring me down to this section, which is where I'll be adding the icon. This code snippet is basically checking the availability of the product to determine what the text will be inside the button. If the product is unavailable, then the text is sold out. Otherwise, it's add to cart. In this case, I want the icon to be rendered only if the product is available, which means the icon needs to be rendered just below the else statement, right here. So the next step is to determine what icon I want. If you clear the search bar and look under the snippets folder, you'll find all these icon files, which we can use. I'm going to go with icon-cart, which makes sense because the text is add to cart. To render the icon, I just need one line of code, and actually I can just copy this line and paste it here, and then replace loading spinner with icon-cart. So it's basically the file name without the .liquid extension. I'm also going to wrap the icon in a span element and give it a class as well. That's going to allow me to target and resize the icon. Time to save and view the changes in the browser. We can see that the icon has been added, but it's too big and the button looks terrible. I'm going to fix the styling by adding CSS code. It's easiest if you start writing the code here inside the browser's developer tools because you'll be able to see the changes in real time. So that's what I'm going to do. First off, I want the icon and the text to be aligned both vertically and horizontally. So I'm going to target the span element, which contains both the icon and the text. And I'm going to set the display to flex, justify content center, align items center. The icon has now disappeared, and that's because the width is now set to 0. So I'm going to manually set the width and the height to 40 pixels. It looks a lot better now, and I think that's enough, but if I reload the page, the changes will reset. So I have to copy the code that I just wrote from the browser and paste everything into the source files. Right-click, copy all declarations, and then go back. I'm going to search for a file called section-main-product and paste the code at the bottom. This is basically the main style sheet for the product page. Before pasting the code, I need to target the right element, which in this case was this span with a class of icon-cart __ container. So let's go back, type in icon-cart container, and then paste the code. I'm going to go back to the product page and copy the other code snippet. So I've copied the code, but notice how the span element doesn't have a class, so I'm going to have to assign one. I'm going to give it a class of product-form submit content, but you can choose whatever class name you prefer. Now that it does have a class, I can actually target the element. I'm going to paste the code that I copied earlier and save. If I go back to the product page and reload, then it should look exactly the same. And it does. So that's it.
I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, then leave a comment. I'm a freelance Shopify developer, so if you need help with your Shopify store, then join my Facebook group and make a post or message me directly. I'll get back to you as soon as possible with a quote. I'm hoping to create a space where people can actually get help and guidance. It's not going to be one of those spammy groups that is filled with random garbage. So definitely join the Facebook group. Links will be in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.